Greetings. Welcome to my first ever vlog on this channel, and well, I think I'm about to make a big mistake with this ghetto ass setup. Just look at this. I'm here in my dingy room with, I don't know, cheap ass lighting that only lights on one side of my face. I guess the only thing that's not ghetto here is my microphone because, well, I like to do foolish stuff with my hard-earned money, so since I'm stupid enough to think that I can do this whole YouTube thing, well, let's get started. Out of all the topics that I can do for a first vlog, it had to be this one. I am stupid. Do note that the opinions expressed here are totally pulled out of my ass. So, I don't know if you can really take it seriously. However, the now infamous interview with Manny Pacquiao for, national television, yeah, that one, is getting so much noise that, you know what, I might as well just take a crack at it, jump into the abyss. First of all, I have to put down my position on the whole LGBT issue. I totally support the LGBT community 100%. No hesitation, 100%. However, I also support the right for people to not be supportive of homosexuals. This is a democratic country, supposedly. So long as that stays within the realm of opinion. I'm gonna get right to that later on. Take it how you will, that's my current position on it. However, this video is not really about defending gays and all that. No, it's not. There's enough of that online, and there are a lot more qualified people than I am who can talk about, gay rights and all that. What I want to do is to get close to the root of whatever the hell happened. People on different sides of the issue are going nuts with this, and understandably, well, it's because it's Manny Pacquiao. Of course it's gonna make a lot of noise. On one hand, his statements of gays being worse than animals is seen as absolutely reprehensible. Well, on the other hand, he's seen as brave for speaking his mind and defending his, his stance by those who share the same view. Of course, there's always two sides to the issue. There's a whole thing with animals being observed exhibiting homosexual behavior, but, this isn't a science channel. As of this recording, Nike just terminated its endorsement contract with Pacquiao, which is, well, kind of a big deal, although it turns out this is not the first time. Overall, the torrent of backlash is going to continue for, well, going to remain hot for the next couple of weeks or so, perhaps. Okay, now, while some of you may think that it's all an overreaction, all this noise, all this backlash, do note that Pacquiao did that interview for election coverage on national television. He did that as a congressman seeking office in the Senate in the upcoming election. So, you know what? It's more than just a humble opinion. He did that as a politician. He has the potential to actually do something about it if things go his way. If things do go his way. Because after this, well, I don't know. Mind you, this is the Philippines, where it's certainly not predominantly pro-gay, and many other politicians share the same sentiments. However, this isn't about Pacquiao being anti-gay. That's been known for years now. We know he was a devout Catholic. Now he's born again, I think? I don't know. But he's a devout Christian. Fundamentalist Christian, in fact. That's why he's always quoting the Bible so much. But that's not about that. It's how he said it. Worse than animals. That's pretty strong. That's not just a humble opinion. Then later on, in response to the public uproar, he issues an apology for offending feelings, yet reaffirms his vehement anti-gay stance. Okay, that's not what I find peculiar though. It's how he said it. It's how he said that he's not condemning anyone. Really now. I'm all for people believing whatever they want to believe. But that's just half-assed. But then again, I wasn't surprised at all that he would A, use such explicit language to describe homosexuals. I've heard a lot worse. And B, backpedal even just a little bit by claiming that he's not condemning anyone. Perhaps you can say that what's worse than a bigot is a half-assed bigot. You called them worse than animals. Of course you're condemning them. Well, what do you expect from someone who was not built for this? First and foremost, he's a professional boxer. For most of his 37 years on this earth, he trained his mind and body to win boxing matches, for money. Meanwhile, how much time and effort has he invested in studying and talking about socio-political issues? I don't know. What most people don't understand is that while just about anyone can have an opinion, it takes skill and finesse to consistently affirm and defend it. Now, Pacquiao may be nigh unequaled in throwing punching combinations, but he's not exactly skillful when it comes to putting down talking points. People just underestimate how much is needed to be good at talking about what you believe in. It seems so easy, right? You think you're so right, other people have also been telling you that you're right, and then you have that one moment where you express it to a wide audience, and it just so happens that it blows up in your face. There are many examples of this, even in history. I'm an enthusiastic student of the martial arts, albeit a bad one at that. I've been a boxing fan since I was a kid, and I've watched a whole lot of boxing, thousands of matches. I've actually watched him during his blow-by-blow days, lazy Saturday, Sunday afternoon, if I can remember, tuning in at Channel 9, there it is, blow-by-blow. He still had that hair. But now, Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest boxers of all time. You can mention his name in the same breath as Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. Some people may argue otherwise, but I don't care. He's an 8th division world champion. No one has ever done that. He is one of the greatest of all time now. But he's also a politician, a basketball player, an actor, and media personality. He's all over the place. Unfortunately, you know what? I think he sucks at all of them. You just can't branch out after decades of doing just one thing and expect similarly positive results. He's just spread too thin. Too much is expected of him in other fields that he doesn't excel in. His main strength is in pugilism. But such is the reality when you're a national hero. You're infallible. It's as if you can do no wrong. But in this scenario, you cannot really expect them to tread through this controversy without any amount of grace. His best defense against those who oppose his views is the Bible and his faith in God's word. And that's it. Not a lot of people buy it. But that's his stance. And there are going to be people who will admire him for it because he's just going to quote the same shit. You know what? I have a Bible here. Actually, this was bought back in, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to take it to the camera. June 15, 1996. This Bible is almost 20 years old. I've kept it all these years. This was required reading back in 4th grade. This is the Good News Bible, so very simple English. Yeah, here we go. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. No man is to have sexual relations with another man. God hates that. Okay, that's pretty clear cut. But then again, in the next page, same page, chapter 19, verse 19. Obey my commands. Do not crossbreed domestic animals. Do not plant two kinds of seeds in the same field. Do not wear clothes made of two kinds of material. Okay, so, well, if your mixed breed dog has had puppies, well, you're in trouble. If you wear a polyester shirt with your khakis to church on Sunday, you're also in trouble. Leviticus chapter 19, verses 11 to 13. Do not steal or cheat or lie. Do not make a promise in my name if you do not intend to keep it. That brings disgrace to my name. I am the Lord your God. Do not take advantage of anyone or rob them. Do not hold back the wages of someone you hired, not even for one night. Wait, hold on. Isn't that just about every politician and, a lot of businessmen and corporate executives? Well, they're in trouble. If you want to cherry pick, two can play that game. And there's a lot of this stuff, if you want to quote the Old Testament. And, all right, there's also the New Testament. There's the whole theological discussions regarding, all of this in the Old Testament had been canceled out by the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Okay, fine, whatever. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. Do not eat pigs. They must be considered unclean. They have divided hooves, but do not chew the cud. So you're not supposed to eat them. Now listen here. This is where I put my foot down. All right? No one, and I mean no one, not even this, is going to get in the way between me and my pork adobo. I like eating pork adobo. No one takes away my pork adobo. Well, there's the biblical side of things. There are those who admire his steadfastness and his willingness to throw himself into the fire to proclaim and defend his faith. Perhaps similar to all the persecuted Christians throughout history who have had to suffer indignities due to their beliefs. If we're going for hyperbole, well, let's go all out. They see the steadfastness as a virtue, as an example of what they must strive to be as well. However, virtue itself can be relative to the limits of one's vision and focus. We're only as perceptive as our field of view, and many of us are willingly have blinders on. So the whole time, I think, he had resided in the Christian echo chamber, listening to teachings being preached to the choir. Of course he'd use scripture to defend himself. That's pretty much all he knows. He pulled himself from poverty with his physical prowess and skill against all odds, and he prayed to God throughout the whole journey. Of course he's going to believe that it's the be-all, end-all. He believes that's what got him to where he is now. There's power in that. It's certainly not like he's totally a bad guy. It does seem like he does his best to help those who were as unfortunate as he was in his youth. Then there's the whole thing with him making Filipinos, proud throughout these years. And it just took one thing, one gaffe, to make it all fall apart like a house of cards. You know what? When you look at it that way, I can't help but be kind of sorry for the guy. Now, here's my crazy conjecture. Put your seatbelts on. This is gonna go, really crazy. There's this thing about ready-made self-beliefs. They're not bad. They're not bad at all, but they're like shortcuts. They're like package deals. All you need to know about your life, love, and your path to self-actualization is in one book, one quatrain, one mantra, whatever. All wrapped up in its own culture. All wrapped up in this tiny little box. And all you have to do is just consume it. With your heart as price for admission. You need not drag yourself through the mud in searching for your true self. No need to explore metaphysical horizons within yourself to know where your heart truly lies. No need to look at the suffering of others to assess your own beliefs. Just read this book. Everything's in it. Here's a man who learned most of what he knows now from church and Bible studies, and that's not bad at all. I'm sure he read the book, maybe cover to cover, and and whatever level of reading comprehension he has. But as I see it, it's like an echo chamber. It's like a house of mirrors. And throughout the years, all he had was boxing, making ends meet, and prayer in between. That's all he could do. But he's no longer that. He's no longer that. He's now Manny Pacquiao. He's now high up on a pedestal, up on a high horse. He must be having spiritual vertigo from up there right now. It's so high we could barely see him looking down on us. Times change, people change, and yet the truth remains. The one single truth. Life is full of suffering. Prince Gautama ventured out of the palace and saw the suffering of others who weren't as privileged as he was, thus setting him on his path towards enlightenment. Thus he became the Buddha. Jesus had those 18 silent years in between the ages of 12 to 30 when he started his ministry. And I'm sure he saw some really, really heavy stuff during that time. But wait, so are you telling me that those guys did all that so we don't have to? They explored it all, so we can just sit back, relax, and follow it all by the letter? No need to look at things in other people's perspectives, because whatever is written there, and there alone, is the only thing that's right? And what about the people on the other side? Understanding the human condition is no longer an important factor in all of this? It's really us versus them, and all the talk of compassion and love and the tenets of your faith count for absolutely nothing? To explore, to question, to doubt, and to rediscover, these are essential to understanding the true depth of faith and belief. You skip them, and you skip the one thing that is more important than your own salvation: understanding your fellow men. Okay, I don't know what I was getting at there. And I kind of sounded so full of myself there. I just had questions and ideas that I was trying to put together. I wanted to explore when I was writing this, but it kind of felt flimsy as I went on, to be honest. But, well, you know what? That's what I came up with. Take it how you will. I'll stick with it for now. As for Manny Pacquiao, well, he's still in the thick of this controversy as of this recording. For all the trouble that this has been causing him and his family, and most likely will continue to cause, let's just hope, even pray, that he learns well from this experience. In the meantime, ponder on this. Jesus taught us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Right? So, well, maybe next time, for instance, when you're leaving the house and you happen to have a gay neighbor who lives nearby, well, why not just pop on over and say hi? Wish that person a nice day. You know what? That can make a difference. If you somehow made it this far into the video, well, thank you for sticking around. I hope to do more vlogs like this in the future, talking about various topics that I find interesting. Maybe even tell a few stories in between. If you find this vlog even remotely interesting somehow, well, like, share, subscribe to this channel. Also check out the Avoider Dragon YouTube channel, where I do videos about video games and other media. I've only started to take this seriously, so, baby steps. Also try visiting avoiderdragon.com, my blog, where I write about stuff, I guess. I don't know if I can really make this whole internet thing work, but, well, I'm trying. And that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay Tor.